Hello, this is Carman Moore, a living American composer, I'm pleased to be able to say, and inviting you to a concert on February 1st, 2018, as part of the interpretation series that's run by Thomas Buckner. My group, the Skymusic Ensemble, will be playing, and there's some wonderful musicians playing in my group and have been for many years. We will be performing five different compositions of mine that all of which feature the Skymusic Ensemble. We'll open with a piece that that we performed at the Studio Museum in Harlem, and I thought that the piece was finished and wonderful and all of that, and later came to realize, oh my God, I really want to do this piece right. So I've totally rewritten it, and it's now called Harlem. And in parens, Morningside Mystique. It sort of refers to Morningside Park, which is sort of like the western end of Harlem, sort of with the idea that Harlem started there and spread eastward to the Harlem River, and the idea there is that that piece of ground has experienced Mother Nature, without a human being in sight, and then the Native Americans showed up, and they considered it a very, very special place. And then the Dutch showed up, and then the English, and then actually Jews showed up in Harlem as it spread eastward. Then the African Americans came up with the Great Migration, and Harlem became, of course, the cultural mecca that it remains. So I make music in this piece called Harlem that spreads the way the geographic Harlem spread over the years. Then there's another piece that I had done to some extent at MoMA recently, that I call Dante Hell Water, and it's about one circle of hell. And this was part of at the end of the Robert Rauschenberg show there. And it features a flying piano line with a baritone horn, acting like the devil underneath, and then the sound of rain falling at the same time is quite mad, and it's short, but that's quite nice. And then there's a piece that we have done in the past called The Quiet Piece, which I like, that features bells and vibraphone and the rest of the group too. Then there's a piece called Point-Counterpoint, which is about, in a way, it's the history of music, but it also describes the whole thing starting with the Big Bang as a point, and the counterpoint is us, and everything that has come after as a kind of grand reverb. And at any rate, there's a poem that I've written for this about it all that Tom Buckner will be reading, and then the musicians imitate him reading, and so it creates a certain thick counterpoint that's I think it's quite a knockout. And then that's a relatively short piece, and then we have our a signature piece, which is Righteous Heroes, and that one features the musicians in various ways, allows me to improvise as a conductor, to call in certain sections and take things out, bring people in, create duets, all kinds of things like that. So half written, half improvised. The Skymusic Ensemble is a group I started way back, sort of officially 1980 in Greenwich Village, and it's a group that has terrific readers who also are terrific improvisers. And so I have been I compose for symphony orchestras, New York Philharmonic, San Francisco Symphony, Cleveland Orchestra, etc. In the past. But this group is really close to my heart because the idea of being able to extend a written piece using improvisation by people who are sensitive to what they've been playing and flow out of the written into the improvised just seamlessly and back in. And this has been something I've been championing for many years. One of the earliest group featured people like the great Sam Rivers, saxophone marvel, and who also played flute with us. Leroy Jenkins, violinist, wild man, who gave us like a certain kind of bite. We have synthesizer players like Ken Bichelle, who was part of the first Moog quartet, and Gordon Gottlieb and Eli Fountain, percussionists, just magical players. So on this February 1st concert that's coming up, Martha Mooke, the wonderful violist, is going to come and play with us. So we love hearing each other. Well, I don't play, I wave my hands, but they seem to be able to hear these hands when they need to. And the music's in front of them, the written music's in front of them. And I compose it to make them sound great. Of course, the first order of business is to write a terrific piece. But knowing the players, why I sort of anticipate what's going to come out of them. I've also added a wonderful Senegalese singer to one of my pieces, and Mor Dior Bamba, who's come in one of the pieces that we'll be doing is called Righteous Heroes, and it's constructed for solo, for people who solo over some written music, and so I decided to why not have a singer, at the end, and so he just fits right in. That's very exciting. So, well, I'm from Ohio originally, and I went to Ohio State and thought I was going to be a French horn player, and started hearing music in my head and decided I must explore this. And someone hooked me up with Hall Overton here in New York City, and I studied with him for 4 years. That was very fruitful, and at the end of which I'd become a composer, and I also became music critic for the Village Voice for many years, and as a result met a lot of wonderful colleagues, musical colleagues, and tried not to use it as a stepping stone to anything. Tried to make the music be the stepping stone. So, so since then, besides starting the Skymusic Ensemble, I have had performances. Pierre Boulez conducted a piece of mine called Wildfires and Field Songs with the New York Philharmonic. And I've had works by the San Francisco Symphony, Cleveland Orchestra, and Chamber Music Society at Lincoln Center. So a lot of things have transpired, and I feel very fortunate to have had that, all that happened. As I said, I went to Ohio State and then the Masters from Juilliard, and met Luciano Berio, who became my next composition teacher, and learned a lot from him. Vincent Persichetti at Juilliard also learned a lot from him. So it's really very exciting to think of myself as having a subconscious that's full of enough skill and musical savvy to decide to mix different worlds of music with other worlds of music and see what comes out. So, you know, it's the experimental side of composing is a very exciting part for me. So, I can't think of anything that would be more exciting to do than compose music.